the only game we're going to preview this week.
Yeah.
And the reason is kind of because it's really the only game with 100% playoff implications outside of Texans-Ravens. But at this point, I think everyone will have talked about Texans-Ravens. And there's really only so many things you can say about Lamar Jackson against Deshaun Watson. Everyone's going to watch it. They're both sweet. They're both really good. Deshaun and Lamar aren't the same player. People keep saying they are. It's really irritating, but they're not.
Yeah.
I think what the fairest thing to do is to let's transition and talk about the Sunday Night Football game, because the Sunday Night Football game is the rare loser leaves town match between the Rams and Bears, where you can really cross off whoever loses this game and their season. And I think the reason we really want to talk about this game in depth for the next 5 or so minutes is because both these teams won their divisions last year, and both these teams were seen as potential Super Bowl. This was, I guarantee you, a lot of people's NFC Championship game. And to see it now this isn't even week 15, 16 as a potential elimination game. This is week 11. So to see these two teams going at it, it's Trubisky's last stand. It's Khalil Mack, who hasn't done anything this year. He's been quietly terrible. I don't know if you know that. Khalil only has 3.5 sacks this year. Going against one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. Paul, what's your give me your thoughts on this really weird and kind of exciting game?
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it, to be honest. It's one of those games that I'll definitely be watching. I think that the Rams need a big bounce back game here. Of course, they've looked pretty bad the last few weeks, and a lot of people are starting to rule them out. So to follow up the Super Bowl with this, you've seen it before from a team like Carolina, making the Super Bowl, losing in a pretty dramatic fashion, and then being not great the next year. You hope the Rams turn it around. And the Bears, to be honest, their offense isn't great because of their quarterback. Trubisky's not a very good quarterback, if you ask me. The Bears, though, good defense. They're starting to buy in more and figure it out. Khalil Mack, of course, is one of those guys that can wreck a whole game, but the Rams have that in Aaron Donald as well. The Bears' secondary, I think, is better than the Rams, and their linebackers are a bit better. So the Bears' defense should be better than the Rams, but the Rams' offense last year, it was special, and we haven't seen that yet. But with a guy like Cooper Kupp playing, who they didn't have for most of the year last year, he's a great receiver and can make a big difference.
He had 0 catches against the Steelers.
Yeah, and
that's crazy, man.
I expect a big game from him. I expect Todd Gurley to get a couple carries. I expect Jared Goff to be throwing the rock around the field, and I expect a Rams win here, to be honest.
You got the Rams. So the Rams are favored by 6.5.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't know if I'd put money on the Rams. 6.5 is a lot. I think it's more of a 3 to 4 point win for the Rams. But I'd be taking Bears money line. I'd be taking the Rams to win, though.
Man, I would 100. I think I'm gonna put money on the Bears for this.
I think that's
6.5 is so much. That's such a textbook late cover, even if they don't play well.
Yep.
Man, I think I'm gonna take the Bears, man. I really think I am.
You think they're gonna win? Why do you take the Bears over the Rams? Especially, do you think that Trubisky has it, or what? Why are you taking them?
My thought process has nothing to do with that. It's actually, as I mentioned earlier, Khalil has been getting killed all week in Chicago for not doing anything. A lot of people have kind of noticed how bad Khalil has been this year. And I think Khalil is going to have a day, because that Rams offensive line sucks. It's really bad. And if there's ever been a game and a guy who we know shows up on Sunday Night Football, it's Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
So putting him out on that field there, I think, man, I think he's gonna. I think 6.5 is crazy for that line. I'm not sure if I want to pick the Bears to win outright, but man, that seems like way too many points, especially with how Goff has been playing recently. Like Goff has really only played well in their games against the Bengals and Falcons. Like every time they've actually played like a reasonable defense, he's been quite bad this year. And obviously a lot of that has to do with their offensive line. But like the Rams starting left tackle is doubtful for this game. Brandon Cooks isn't gonna play. Um, Gerald Everett's questionable. All three of their tight ends are questionable. Like I think this is like a low key. The Rams might not be able to score in this game, but the reason I don't know if I can pick the Bears is the Rams defense has quietly been very good since they traded for Ramsey,
Mm-hmm.
which is obviously like the guy's freaking awesome. Like it shouldn't be too much of a surprise, obviously, but I think with him available, uh, with him and like how he's just kind of changed the nature of that defense. Their secondary's been so much better. I'm not sure how the Bears scored, but like this might be a textbook like 14 17 14 game, which is again why 6.5 is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. 6.5 is a lot, especially in this tight of a game.
Yeah. Like man. And again, like how are the Rams gonna block the Bears defensive line?
It's a good question. I think it'll be a great game, to be honest. It should be the holes on each team is where the other teams are better, and I think that's what's going to make this interesting. And yeah, I kind of like your pick with the Bears, but I'm going to stick with the Rams here. But yeah, go money line Bears all day.
So get ready for this. This is a paragraph on the ESPN preview.
Mm-hmm.
Khalil Mack will be lining up against the Rams offensive line with 4 of the 5 starters in unfamiliar positions.
Jeez.
Los Angeles lost center Brian Allen and right tackle Rob Havenstein to injuries last week. Allen's done for the year, by the way. So guard Austin Blythe moves to center, and untested youngsters David Edwards, Austin Corbett, and Bobby Evans likely join the starting lineup. The Rams line was awful against Pittsburgh, and now they're losing their better, like decent players. Like this is a disaster, man.
Yeah, it is.
like obviously the Bears have their own set of injuries, and they're going to be missing some key players. But like man, I think the Rams are like I want to take the Bears, but like I just don't see a way Trubisky is going to score more than like max 14 points in this game.
Yeah.
Which means I have to think, with the amount of respect I have for Sean McVay and what he stands for, that he can find a way to get 17 points.
Yeah.
Like, that's really what happened to me last week, and maybe I'm just going to be proven wrong again. Because last week I picked the Rams because I was like, there's no way they're not going to score like 14, 15 points. And they didn't. They scored 12. But, like, man, Goff has 11 touchdowns and 9 picks this year.
Yeah, that's pretty ugly.
That's rough, man. But I don't even know who I'd want to win. Man, if the Bears win this game, the NFC just turns into such a weird place.
Yep. It would be kind of entertaining for the rest of the year. It would be just a big puddle of mediocrity.
Oh, if you're the Rams, man, you got to win this game. Like this is an absolute must win for 2 division winners 9 games into the season. That's crazy.
Yeah, like, it is.
That's so unusual. Like, look at the other division winners from last year. Saints, they don't need to win this week against Tampa. Like they obviously can't lose. They don't want to lose, but like let's be real here. Like if they lose, whatever. Dallas, they've been disappointing this year, but their game against Detroit, I wouldn't classify as an absolute must win. Like they should win the game, but like if they lose it, it's okay. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City, same thing. Like you want to beat the Chargers, but like if they lose, it's okay.
Oakland's right on their tail, man.
Yeah,
I don't know.
their season's not over if they lose that game.
That's true. That's true.
Houston, they're fine. Baltimore, they're fine, especially
Yep.
after last night, and we all know about New England. So like, this is just such a weird situation because like, even if Dallas or the Chiefs will lose, like as you're mentioning, obviously not ideal. Like that's not where you want to be.
Yeah.
However, that being said, their season's not over.
That's very true.
Like if you look at this NFC wildcard race, Seattle is 8-2 and Minnesota are 7-3. Those are the wildcard teams.
Jeez.
And Minnesota's winning this week. Like I don't have to tell people. So Minnesota's going to get to 8 wins and Seattle's on the bye.
Yeah.
So you're going to be 3 games back which is basically curtains.
Mhm.
You basically have to win out and then hope they go 3-5 down the stretch. Like that's a big ask.
Yeah, that's tough.
So everyone tune in Sunday Night Football because
Yeah, should be a good game. That's for sure.
I think Paul's right. It's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, it's
I think you're right. I think the Rams are gonna find a way.
yeah. And I mean, you've said that the last couple of weeks, and that scares me that you've said that. Now you're agreeing with me, so let's just hope I'm right this time. Just like the last few times on the Rams, actually, I've been right. So let's hope I keep up that trend.
So let's move on and talk.